everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller. I haven't posted in a little bit. I've been busy with a couple other projects, little mini documentaries, I'll call them, which I hope to post soon. And I was also putting the finishing touches on a screenplay I'm really excited about. I wanted to submit by deadline. So anyway, check, that's done. And today I'm back with a different kind of message. So I've always been very curious by nature. I love hearing other people's stories, a little bit about their past, what contributes to who they are, what inspires them, and what it is they want for their future. I think my curiosity also helps keep me happy. We'll get to why that is in a moment. Something I was thinking about with all of the racial unrest that's happening lately. While I do find it deeply unsettling and sad, it does not make me angry. And here's why. I'm a very curious person by nature who most of the time feels pretty good about myself. So when we're feeling good about ourselves, we're naturally kinder toward others, and we naturally have less fear of the unknown, of what might or might not work out. And then it's easier to naturally be kinder toward others, even when they're different from us. When we come across someone that's very different from us, if we're feeling good about ourselves, that might just lead to curiosity. We may want to ask them questions to learn about and better understand them. From personal experience, I understand that how we treat others is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. When I'm feeling great, I tend to treat those around me pretty great. And when I'm tired or something is bothering me, well, I'm not my best. However, now that I understand this, I still try to treat others as best I can, even when I'm not feeling so great myself. I understand that I'm reflecting myself, and so I want to hold myself in high regard. Let's consider an extreme example. Hitler rose to power, gained millions of followers who helped him accomplish his mission. There is no way someone committing unspeakable acts like this feels good about himself. No way. And in the end, he killed himself. Let's back up again. How we treat others is a reflection of our own self-worth in that moment, and it can change from day to day. One way we can make a huge impact on the world is by keeping ourselves happy. It is so important to keep ourselves feeling good. This is a very simple way we can make a huge impact on bettering the world and decreasing hatred, racism, and unfair treatment toward others. So, how do we do this? So many ways. Breathe deep, listen to our intuition, what it is we truly want, do things that make us feel good, and surround ourselves with people we feel good around. Many, many more, but for the purpose of this video, we keep ourselves happy by understanding two things. One, that how we treat others is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And two, by understanding that what we focus on has a huge impact on how our day goes and how our life goes. Okay, so the other day I was walking and I saw one of those, I don't know what you call them, they have them in the city. They're like these freestanding little stations where you can charge your phone, and they have billboard advertisements running. So the ad on this one said something like, "Don't hate Jews," something like that. So the thing with these words is what we see is hate Jews. So now that message is in our head when it likely was not moments before. And not that we're going to walk on now hating or not hating, but it's in our heads. And since we attract more of what it is we focus on, is this really a positive message? Perhaps a better message for the billboard would maybe be a quote by a famous Jewish person, or a contribution that a Jewish person made to our city. That's very hard to say, Jewish person. Try and say that 10 times. So recently I read an article where the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, reported 17,000 recent anti-Semitic tweets saying things like, "Hitler was right." So while, yes, this is deeply disturbing and deeply saddening, I don't feed the issue by getting angry. Instead, I get curious, and I like to understand things on a deeper level. So when I hear something like this, I naturally just start digging deeper in my brain. What happened in their lives that drives a person to wish ill will on another? Spanning the spectrum from unkind to unspeakable acts, what drives a person to hurt another, emotionally or physically? The answer is simple. We could argue nature versus nurture, combination of both, But the answer, what drives a person to treat someone else badly, as seemingly insignificant as being short with a checkout girl, or Hitler, the driving force behind mass murdering 6 million people who were different from him, these people, the rude person at the store and Hitler, were not feeling good about themselves. If they were feeling good about themselves, they may have just been curious or kind, no matter how they were feeling, and held themselves in high regard. Fear is the driving force behind hatred and milder forms of unkindness. Fear and how we feel about ourselves. But doesn't fear come from how we feel about ourselves? Our belief in ourselves or lack thereof? To hate others is to hate ourselves even more. If someone is unkind to me, depending on the situation, it may or may not hurt my feelings. However, because I understand that how we treat others is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves, it somehow hurts less. If someone dislikes me because I'm white, or because I'm Jewish, or because I'm happy, or because I'm successful, it doesn't bother me because I understand that it has nothing to do with me. They are showing me how they are feeling about themselves. And by understanding this, I can and do have compassion for them, which keeps me feeling happy, peaceful, and continuing to draw good things toward me. If someone is being violent, yes, we have a much bigger problem. However, if we can not greet others with the angst that they sometimes greet us with, often we can keep the situation from escalating. You know, for example, if someone says something unkind to you and you come back at them harder and then they come back at you, well, it escalates. But if we instead hold our energy and say nothing, it likely ends there. Where we keep our focus dictates how we're feeling and where we go in our lives. So it is so important to keep ourselves feeling good. How do we do this? Try getting curious instead of getting angry. Anger has its place. I'm not saying don't get angry, and I'm not saying don't feel hurt. It is important to process our feelings so that we can ultimately release them and begin to feel better. However, when we begin to understand that how others treat us is a reflection of how they are feeling about themselves, we begin to feel better. And then we project that kindness outward, and we have more people walking around with a happier, healthier state of mind because people are feeling good about themselves. And then we have less crime, less hatred, and a better world. This is one very big way we can all do our part to make the world a better place. When we are feeling good about ourselves and when we understand that how others act outwardly is a reflection of their own self-worth in that moment, it becomes easier to have compassion for others. We all have a story, we all have a history, and we all have struggles. And deep down, we all want the same things: to be happy and to feel good and accepted. I'm Amy Lee Miller, and I believe in you.